Hey guys, I'm Skully. Welcome to Skully's Creations. Oh, I am so excited for today. Oh yes, if you like creativity and plan to things, don't forget to like and subscribe. And okay, so I'm so excited for today, and the reason I'm so excited for today is because it has officially been 1 year of me being a plant parent, and wow, let me tell you, I have learned so much. And I'm excited to share all that with you because seriously, I wish that I had, or that there was a video that had like everything compact in one to like, here is what you should know about being a plant parent, tips, tricks, this and that. And yeah, what are the difference between a terracotta and a plastic or ceramic pot, and just little things that I wish I would have known about before getting into getting my first plant. A lot of this was just trial and error, and I'll also be sharing with you the plants that I've killed. So I realized that I did not share the plants that I killed with you, my bad. But I killed a croton, and I killed what was it? Oh, I killed two ponytail palms. I killed a cacti, and I believe I killed one snake plant, and that was all because I did not bring them inside before it froze over, or before it dropped to like, I think 30 degrees. I happened to be at my boyfriend's house at the time, and because of that, I didn't bring them inside. I should have, but when I came back, they were all dead. And then the one that I did give root rot to, which was the peace lily, I killed the rest of them, but I was able to save this one and one more that I left at my boyfriend. So those are the ones I killed. My bad for not including that, but hey, now you know. Bring your plants in, okay? Bring your plants in before it gets cold. Before it gets cold. So all the good, the bad, and the great. And now that it is growing season, you know, the spring is coming, a lot of stuff is waking up, or a lot of plants are waking up, and so I'm really excited to share everything with you. So I did make a list, and I forgot my list. So yeah, so that's one thing. Okay, ceramic, terracotta, and plastic pots. What's the difference, and why is it gonna benefit you to put one thing in another? And so, for example, this is a succulent, and it's a gash something aloe. I can't remember the name. I'll put it on the screen if I can. So anyways, this is a succulent. Succulents do really good in terracotta, succulents, cacti, because what terracotta does is it also absorbs the water. So when you have a plant that really likes to dry out, or you know, doesn't like to be overwatered, this is a good one. If you are an overwaterer, this is a good one because what it's going to do, it's going to suck up all of the extra moisture and not leave, it's going to dry out quicker. Another thing, so if you want to water more often, get a terracotta. If you want to water less often, put it in a ceramic. This is a great example of a plant that loves to be watered, and I put her in a ceramic pot. And so this is a peace lily, and this peace lily, oh man, we have been through a lot. When I first got her, she was big, huge, and beautiful, and I separated her with division propagation, and I put her in pots without drainage holes, and every single one of those propagations got root rot. And she's here, she's growing, she has a new leaf coming in, and it's really cool to see because again, we've been through a lot. She was the second plant I ever got. So yeah, it's literally been a whole year, And like I said, she's doing great. I mean, look at her big, beautiful leaves that she's putting out. So she's really happy. But because she is a plant that likes more water than normal, or more water than like a pothos, or more water than like a succulent or a cacti, a ceramic is going to be great, because a ceramic isn't going to pull any of the moisture out, and it's going to keep it all in. So that's a really good one for a ceramic. Also, plastic. Plastic is very similar to ceramic. The plastics that I use are so the Dollar Tree has so many of these plastic pots, and they all have drainage holes, so you're good to go. And although this is like a cute, I like painted it and put some like it doesn't match with like the aesthetic of my room, so I just put it in a decorative pot, and then there you go. I'll eventually repot her in that decorative pot. That decorative pot does fortunately have drainage holes. So, oh yeah, drainage holes. What the heck's up with that? You need drainage holes, especially if you're a beginner. Like, I have been, again, a plant mom for an entire year, and I still don't feel comfortable with having a pot or a plant in a pot without drainage holes, unless it's all in water. And so I'll put a video or something up on a plant that I do have in water. It's a Syngonium white butterfly, and that one's really cool. It can live in water, stay in water. A peace lily can also live in water, stay in water. So that's something that's really cool. There are plants that just love water and can live in water their whole life. But yeah, drainage holes, that's a big one. Like, if you can get a pot with drainage holes, awesome. If not, I have a video coming out later that's going to show you how to make drainage holes in ceramic or plastic containers or pots that you want to use for your plants. And if you don't feel comfortable, like myself, even after a year, I don't feel comfortable without a drainage hole. That's just me. I know that the water's fully going to drain, and I'm not going to give my plant root rot, because again, that was my first experience with root rot, and let me tell you, it was a pain. It was a pain, and if you can save yourself some trouble, just get drainage holes. That's definitely something I would recommend. Actually, I have this trick where's my trick? Hold on. Okay, found my example. Okay, so this peperomium, as you can see, fits. Oh, the fungus gnats are coming back. It's okay, I'm handling it. We'll talk about that later. Pest. Anyways, so this peperomia didn't absolutely fit in this container. It would have been too big of a container. It falls right through, right? So a trick that I do to get plants to fit in pots that I want them to is just use a plastic bag. Most of us get either plastic bags or paper bags from the grocery store, unless you do non-paper bag or plastic bag. But this is a trick. If you have any plastic bags just laying around, you can use that to lift your plant up, and then just, there you go. That's it. So that's a really cool trick that it's just a cute little trick to make everything look a little bit more seamless. And also, this peperomia in this pot just like makes me smile so much. Next up, what do we got? Light. Low light versus indirect light versus direct light was a bit confusing for me at first, not gonna lie. Also, low light plants doesn't mean no light, which basically every plant needs light. And although you can put a snake plant in a low light condition, or like in a low light room, it's fine. It's gonna do okay. it's not going to give you the spectacular growth that you're probably looking for. For example, this, oh, it's so big. I'll just insert a clip because this snake plant, for example, I want to say it was probably like that big when I got it, right? And again, it was a large plant. I divided it into like the 4 different sections of 4 different plants I made out of the one that I bought. And one of them I had in a west facing window in Texas. So gets a lot of really, really, really bright light. And the other one, it was a south facing window, but the south facing window was like itty bitty, right? So I didn't get much light. And with that, I saw the difference. The one in the west facing window that was getting pretty much direct, almost basically direct light, grew so quickly and gave me this huge leaf that is now like this big. It's pretty big. I'll insert a clip. It's pretty big. And that shot up so quickly last year in the growing season. And the one that I had again in that little tiny south facing window didn't do much. It just lived and was happy. It was fine. Well, was it happy? It just lived, right? It just lived. So that's the thing. If you give your plants more light, they're gonna thrive. They're gonna grow faster for you. So if you're wanting to see those results, just give it more light. Now speaking of light, right? So this right now where I'm facing is a south facing window. This neon pothos is getting bright and direct light. It's not directly hitting them. When it's, and I'll insert another clip of direct light, or here, let me just show you. Okay, so like for example, this, oh, you're getting in the way. Okay, the light is literally hitting the foliage or the succulent. That is direct light. Okay, so basically if the light is hitting it directly, which I know sounds silly, but if it's like in its face, like it's right there, that's direct light. And anyway, so this again, it's getting it, but the sun isn't like actually hitting it, like the beams aren't actually there. So that is, and then low light would be considered the furthest of this room. No, this is a really bright room, but it would be further. So this is bright and direct light. It's a little closer to the window, right? It's a little closer to the window. And then even if I had pushed this pothos maybe 4 feet back, you're now in low light. So just think about it like that. Like direct, it's literally whenever you have your eye, like whenever you go outside and the sun is hitting your eye and you kind of make that face, that's direct light. This is nice and bright and direct. Then you pull it back a couple feet or 4 feet, then now you have low light. Those are the differences. Next up, before bringing a plant home, check it for pest. Look at the foliage, look between it. If you see little white bugs or like something that kind of looks like cotton, that is probably gonna be mealybugs. If you see spider webs, you're probably looking at spider mites. Now sometimes you'll see little balls. It could be fertilizer if they're gray, I believe. But if you see like a yellow or a light yellow ball, that's probably some type of larva. So just be sure to check it. Obviously, you can still bring it in and treat it. That's totally fine. But at least you know if you're gonna have to treat it or not. I know they say like quarantine your plants when you bring it in, but whenever I bring in a plant, I always spray it down with neem oil and clean its leaves. And yeah, I'll probably quarantine it for like 2 days, but I don't do like the whole 2 weeks thing. And knock on wood, everything. I haven't gotten anything other than your normal pests like gnats. I've also had to eradicate those things, which was super easy to do. Let me know if you want a video on how I eradicated those gnats, because it was actually pretty simple. And again, now that it's getting warm again, they're trying to come back, but I've only seen 1 or 2, and I've been treating it. So also, before you buy a plant, it is only going to take you a few minutes to just Google what that plant is, look at the name, Google what that plant is, and look at the kit. This has saved me, I'll tell you, because here's the thing. If you see the care and if you see that it needs a lot of humidity, if you see that it's just like a more easy care, like likes to be, don't water until is fully dry, or soil likes to be completely moist, at least you have an idea of what you're working with before bringing the plant home, because then you can decide before you even purchase the plant, do I want to deal with it? Up until this day, I still do not have a calathea in this house. Nope, because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it right now. I brought a fern in. I finally did that, and I had put it in a terrarium. Wasn't getting enough humidity. I'm not gonna lie though, the terrarium's really cute, and I love it. But I, even with and I have it's a smaller humidifier. But even with that, it wasn't getting enough. So I put it in a terrarium. Hopefully, it's only been in there for a couple of days, so we'll see. But it was definitely getting those brown tips. And it was watered. It didn't have any root rot, so the brown crispy tips basically told me, okay, it needs more humidity. So I used it for that. Looks cute, all is well. But again, just doing that like really quick Google search on whatever plant it is that you want just is gonna save you the headache of not killing it later or it being a pain for you later. It's just a quick little Google. Google search, boom, done. Do I want to deal with it or not? Yes or no? And then that's up to you. Your soil. So also was a bit confused on how to handle the soil situation when I first got plants, because all the research that I was doing was a bit different, and now I understand why. So I do use an organic potting mix from Home Depot, and the bag, it's a big bag, and it's only $8. Okay, so it's only $8. I don't use like the black golds or anything like that. It says organic. I'm good with that. It's fine. I just don't go for a regular potting mix, because the regular potting mix is really it's basically just dirt, and when you water, it turns into mush. So just pay and I think that potting mix is usually like $3. If you're gonna use that, go for it. Just add your amenities, and your amenities are going to be like perlite, pumice, orchid bark, something charcoal, but mainly those 3 things, or cacti soil. So if you get whatever potting mix you get, if you can at the bare minimum just add some perlite in there, at least it will give that mush some aeration. So again, that one I think maybe Miracle Grow for like $3-4, but the bag I buy is $8. And I just think just spending just a little bit more will help me not use so much amenities. Now, at first I was just adding the perlite and that was great. It still gave some aeration. Now what I do, oh, and then I tried the organic potting mix, perlite, and cacti soil. I tried those three and again gave aeration. It was good. But I just switched over, instead of using cacti soil, I use orchid bark. Right? Orchid potty mix. I think it's orchid potty mix is actually what it's called. It's from Miracle-Gro. It's cheap. I think it's like, I got it on Amazon for $4 something. So like $5, right? Your perlite is gonna be $5, and then your, if you get the organic potty mix that I get at Home Depot, is $8. So all together, and again, mixing everything also depends on the type of plant. So for example, my neon pothos wants to be dried out more, so I definitely added some more orchid bark into that one. My peace lily wants a little bit more of a moist soil, so I'm gonna add a little less orchid bark or less pumice, but still good enough, but just less than I would something that wants to be dried out a little bit more or want more aeration. So that's the thing. Not all soil is made equal, and that's what amenities are. So when you hear like, oh, I'm gonna add some perlite and I'm gonna have like this whole mix, like cocoa coir and this, they're just adding to the potting soil to get aeration in the so it will be more well draining. And let me tell you, when you do add at the bare minimum perlite, you do get more, it drains a lot quicker, and you'll see it when you water how fast it drains. So at least when it's draining more, you know that the water's not just sitting up there and potentially causing your plant to get root rot. So that's why people, we see other YouTubers like add those different amenities. It's simply to add aeration, and so it can be more well draining to the actual plant itself. So that's them. Also, your soil, check it whenever you're repotting, because sometimes there's larvae in your soil. Even if you just bought it right from the store, there could be larvae in there. There's definitely been larvae. I've bought it, and usually when I'm repotting, I see the larvae and I just, pick it out as I'm repotting, because it's not a lot, but it's there. So that has happened. I've had larvae in cacti soil recently, and I just noticed, and that's something that happens. So don't freak out. Just pick it out when you're repotting. It's okay. It's okay. Let's see what else. I'm making my own sound effects. Okay, fertilizing. Let's move on to fertilizing. So honestly, I just started straight out with actually, no, scratch that. There was these sticks they're slow release fertilizer. I got it at the Dollar Tree. I thought that was gonna be good, and you know what, they work just fine. They really do. However, what I did though when I was using those was I wouldn't put the whole thing in, because I did also see a video that you want to put a little bit less, because it is concentrated slow release, but it could potentially burn the roots. And I was like, burn the roots? No, I don't want to do that. So I definitely always put less. However, I only used that for like maybe a month before I switched to Liqui-Dirt. And that's what I use. I use Liqui-Dirt. My boyfriend also recently got an aquarium, and I have also been using his fish water, not gonna lie. And you know what? The plants love the fish water. They absolutely love the aquarium water. So I do try to give that to them as much as possible. But I did make the investment in Liqui-Dirt. But I gotta tell you, it's been a year, and me pretty much consistently using Liqui-Dirt up until maybe 2 months ago when my boyfriend got the aquarium. A whole gallon basically lasted me that whole year. Now, I don't think it's gonna last me the whole year now. I have more plants. I'll probably go through like 2 gallons, but that pouch, you know, hold on, let me show you the pouch. This pouch. Okay, so when you first get it, you're just gonna put 1 cup of water in the pouch. That's gonna make your concentrate, okay? And then after that, all you're doing is putting 1 capful of this little cap, okay? This little cap in a gallon of water. And then you're just putting the water. That's your fertilizer. So you can imagine how long this is gonna last you. So I think it's a good investment. Also, because it's technically plant food, not plant fertilizer, you don't have to worry about when do I need to fertilize? Did I fertilize last week? Should I fertilize this week? Like, it just eliminates that, like, brain power. It eliminates that brain power. You don't have to worry about it. You're just like, it's cool, it's Liqui-Dirt, it's organic, it's fun, it's plant food, it's all good. So because of that, it's a good investment. I wish I had a code to give y'all, to give you some discount. I think though I did use another YouTuber's code to get this, and it saved me like 15 or like, I don't know, 10 to 20% off or 10 to 50% off. I don't remember, but you can either go, you can either go, I believe, Becca Della Tanks. I believe she has a coupon code, and Plant Me Ashley, I believe, has a coupon code. I'm so sorry if I'm forgetting anyone else who has a coupon code. I'm sure someone else out there does have a coupon code. But those are my favorite. Those are my favorite plant YouTubers. Actually, okay, no, let me. I can't say that those are my favorite because everyone is so wonderful. Wow, I'm embarrassed. Becca Della Tinks and Plant Me Ashley. I know they have codes, so you can choose on who you want to support. I'm so sorry. I love y'all both. Oh yeah, I was gonna go over watering. Okay, so watering, there's like 2. I didn't know that there was different ways to water your plants, but there is your normal top watering, right? And then there's this thing called bottom watering. And watering is basically putting water into a container, putting your plant on top of that, and then what the roots of your plant is going to do is going to soak up whatever water it wants. So that way you don't risk overwatering. You're less likely to have gnats, basically. You're less likely to have gnats because the top of the soil is typically dry because of how your plant is getting its water. So it's getting its water from the roots on the bottom. So usually the water doesn't go all the way up. And whenever gnats like fly in your soil, they're looking for something moist to lay their eggs. So if they're flying into your soil and it's not moist, then it's going to help eliminate that fungus gnat problem. I've been doing that with some of my plants, like this one. Oh, or with your fuzzy plants. Your fuzzy plants usually don't like to have water on their leaves, so a great way to avoid that is to bottom water. So there's that. Also, you can water with one of these. There's another one on Amazon that I'll link down below. Well, will I link it? Yeah. There's another one on Amazon that I'll link down below. It's a bottle like this, a squeezy bottle, but it goes like this. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. It goes like this. So basically, it has its snout right here, so you can just like go like that. I already had this, So because I already had this, I just went ahead and I just got this at the Dollar Tree. Okay. And again, because I already had this, it has helped me water smaller plants like this where I can't like get into its crevices, you know? So that's really helpful. I didn't think about that, and when I finally like was like, oh wait, I have one of those, let me check it out. I saw someone use it on you, obviously on YouTube. I watch a lot of plant YouTube, but I saw someone use it and I was like, wait, I think I have one of those, let me see if it works. It works the same, whatever, it's fine. I don't need the fancy one on it, even though it's super cheap. I already have it, so it's all good. So anyways, there's that. So there's other two different ways to bottom water, or to water your plants, is again, top watering or bottom watering where the roots soak it up. Propagation. So propagation you can do in either water. So these are 3 cuttings that I have. One from my marble queen pothos, the other from my neon, and then one from my philodendron Brazil. But here you go. When you want to cut like a vine plant like that, you want to make sure it has some type of node, which are going to be these bumps. And then a root will eventually come out like this one in water. Yeah, so that's one way of propagating. Another way you can propagate is through sphagnum moss. So this one's really cool because, okay, do you see that? That's a succulent leaf. I was curious because usually you just throw succulent leaves in dirt and you just leave them alone and they grow. But I was curious. I was like, well, I wonder if it will grow in spag. And I thought for sure that the leaf was just gonna rot. Boy, was I wrong. Because look at that. I'm switching all of my succulent leaves over to spag because this has been in there the least amount of time than any of my other succulent leaf propagations. And my other succulent leaf propagations are just in, here, I'll show you. We're already here, we're doing a video, we're educated. Let me show you. Okay. Just in dirt, nothing fancy. It's just in dirt, right? And let's see. And I mean, you can see that they're growing, but do you see how it's like shriveled up and it has roots and it's still little, right? And then this one and all of these have been in propagating for months. So these have been in there a lot longer than this one right here. And it just shocked me. I'm shook. But there you go. There it is. That is a succulent leaf that is being propagated in spag. You're welcome. It works much better. Hopefully it works for you. Let me know if you try it out and if it works for you. If not, well, it worked for me, so sorry. I'm just kidding, but it did. But yeah, so anyway, so that's another way. So the water propagation, spag propagation, and literally just putting it in dirt. So like, for example, these succulents, I just potted them up and they were little babies coming off of my big one, my big plant. And yeah, those are little babies and they're growing. They've been doing great. I have given away some of these babies. That's one of my favorite things to do now. I think that's why I want more and more plants, like, and bigger plants, so I can like cut it up and give them to friends and give them to family, because honestly, that just makes me so happy. My best friend is into plants, makes me so happy. I'm like, yes! I have some propagations to give you, and that just makes me excited because, like, I think that's one of the ways I show, like, love is by giving. And now that I, like, have something beautiful and live to give someone else, it just makes me so happy. And hopefully you find joy in that too. So, anyways, I love propagating. But yeah, soil, water, sphagnum. I've also seen people, and I haven't tried it myself, propagate in only pumice, or excuse me, perlite. Um, so that's another way I guess you can do it. I personally haven't tried propagating solely in perlite, so if you try it, let me know how that works. But I haven't tried it because I've just started dabbling in the sphagnum moss, and it's been really cool. Oh, also sphagnum moss, fun fact, sometimes regrows into live moss. And actually, I'll show you again. Do you see that? That like green like little leaf right there? Well, that's the sphagnum moss basically waking up and becoming a live moss again. Because whenever you get this sphagnum moss, it's dead, it's dry. It's dead, it's dry, and you have to add water to it. But when you have it in a container like this, it regrows. And I actually got that idea to grow my own sphagnum moss from Benji Plant. Oh my god, I'm sure you've checked out his videos. They're great. They're so relaxing and just so awesome. But yeah, so I actually took his advice and just put some moss in a jar. And crazy enough, in this jar, no. Yeah, yeah. And he did say that it was gonna take months for this to work. And I gotta say, this has been like 2 months now. And I have, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, maybe not. Do you see that green right there? I don't know if you can see it. But anywho, it's coming back to life, so it is working. So yeah, for anyone who commented on his video saying that this is not possible, it is possible, because it's happening to mine. It's regrowing, it's coming back to life, and I have live sphagnum moss now. Obviously it's still going to take some more time for it to like fully develop, but it's growing and I see it coming, and that's really exciting. So anyway, and when to repot your plants. Yeah, let me show you. Potted some, this is a good one. Okay, so Syngonium, ow, I hit my knee. Okay, so Syngonium roots are red, just so y'all are aware. So do you see how the red roots of the Syngonium is coming out? So when the roots, I would say when their roots come out a little bit more, that's when you want to repot. So when you see the roots coming out of the drainage hole, which is another reason why drainage holes are great, because then you can see what's going on. Does it need to be repotted? It's coming out if it's coming out, probably needs to be repotted. Now, I know that some people wait a little bit longer for it to be root bound, and I'm probably gonna wait another couple of weeks before I repot this, because like I said, it's barely coming out. The roots are barely coming out. So because the roots are barely coming out, it's still probably okay. But that's when you want to repot, when the roots are coming out of their drainage holes. Also, I've seen, it's never happened to me, but I've seen the roots actually pop out from the top. That's when you know a plant is really root bound. And that's what that means. Root bound means that it's just so many roots in there. And when a pot is root bound is when you want to repot it, because what's happening is there's not enough soil for the roots to retain its water. Therefore, you're probably going to be watering it more often. So it's just a good idea to repot the plant, so that way you can have a good amount of soil, water retention for those roots. That's that. Turning your plants. No one, but some people talk about it. When your plants, like for example, think this is perfect. I love, me and her go back so we go back. We just go back. Anyways, so this is a great example. Do you see how this plant is growing this way, right? For a long time, I had it facing like this. So the sun is this way, so it's growing towards the sun. So what you want to do to either fix that or prevent it is turn your plant. Turn your plant. You can turn it every time you water, like just a little bit, like water, turn it, water, turn it, water, turn it. I usually don't remember to do that. So like, for example, when I started seeing this one go this way, I just turned it this way. So then that way it will now start going this way. And slowly you'll see it start adjusting itself. So that's that. And I think the last thing I have for you guys is how to start your collection, you know? And I gotta say, again, I didn't get a fern because I knew ferns needed a lot more humidity. I knew ferns needed a lot more care, more watering. So I kind of steered away from that up until like a month ago. Begonias. Begonias, I just got a few begonias and I actually love them. I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely love them. One of them I think needs a bit more humidity. I can see the tips starting to crisp up, but at this point in my plant journey, I am ready for that. I'm ready for caring a little bit more to a plant. But my first plant was a snake plant. You know, I got something very easy. Snake plants, you don't need to water them very often. They like to be completely dried out before you water, and they don't need a lot of light. So it's a really good beginner plant. Again, remember, not a lot of light doesn't mean no light, but still, that was a good one. They said the peace lily was a good plant, so that was my second plant. I don't think the peace lily is a beginner plant. I really don't, just because of the watering. Now it does wilt when it needs water, but that wilting, the plant is using its energy to wilt and then perk back up. So you don't want to only water your peace lily or your Fittonia when it's wilted and then perk it back up, because that it's using its energy to do that. So that's why I don't think a peace lily is a beginner friendly in my opinion. Also, I gave it root rot. Like, maybe that's just my experience why I don't think that. Pothos, great beginner plants. Get your pothos. And I know it's a basic plant, or I know it's like not a rare plant or anything like that, but here's the thing. Common plants, oh, you know who says this? Nick says this. I'll link his YouTube down below, but he basically says that common plants are common for a reason, and I absolutely agree with that, because the thing about common plants or these easy care plants is they're, again, easy to care for. Most of the time they like to be dried out, so you're not having to remember to water so often, right? So that will help you learn how to water a plant. And not only that, but they grow so quickly. So they grow quickly, they're easy care and to water, and you know, you can start learning how to propagate really quickly, and you can start learning how to propagate really quickly because they grow quickly. Another great beginner plant that I wish I recently just got these, but Tridescantia. Oh my god, Tridescantia. It's my favorite plant, right? It's currently my favorite plant. I made 2 cuts really low of these two about 2 weeks ago, and they were already growing out. They're already growing out. So really, really fast grower. Get yourself a Tridescantia. They're amazing. And also they're ones you can let them dry out a fair amount and it's fine. Right now, if you're in Texas and are by a Kroger, they have the Nanooks. And again, so I made a cut of this one. That would have been, probably would have been right here. And I made a cut. I gave it to my boyfriend because basically any plant I get, he wants too. So, which, again, it's really cute. I love giving him plants because I'm like, I'll send him pictures. Look at the new plant I got. Oh, that's cool. I'll take you a cutting. And that's how it goes. Anyways, so yeah, so I made a cut, and again, it's, oh, here's where I made that cut. Let me show you. So there's where I made that cut, and already, like over here next to it, it's growing. And this, when I got it, was like right here. And it's only been like 3 weeks. And this is its growth. Like, it grows so quickly. And because of that, you can start learning how to propagate sooner because you can start cutting it up. So yes, and also, like, you have your whole life to collect plants. Like, I know that Monstera albo looks so good, and do I want one? Probably. Well, I actually want the yellow version, but I'm in no rush to get it. That thing is expensive, and I am not in a place right now comfortably where I want to spend that much on a plant, knowing that it could die. I'm not comfortable in my plant journey yet to, again, spend that much thinking if this thing doesn't live, like, it's dead. It like, no, I don't want to do that yet. I'm not comfortable with that yet. However, am I comfortable? No, that's another thing. Buying smaller plants. If you're buying smaller plants, at least you of a newer genus, you're getting your feet wet with that. Let me get my pothos. Okay, I know how to take care of a pothos now. Let me get a syngonium. Okay, I got a cheap syngonium. I know how to take care of a syngonium now. Now I can get other syngoniums. Let me get a tradescantia. Okay, I know how to take care of a tradescantia. Like, start small. You have your whole life to collect plants. Rare doesn't mean better, because you know what? A lot of the YouTubers that I've seen that have rare plants, they usually require a little bit more care. And again, I'm not one right now, like, I'm not one right now to, like, oh my god, I'm gonna give you like an amazing, like, the best humidity and be super Hawkeye on you. Like, I'm not, or helicopter parent on you. I check my plants every day, and so yeah, and I make sure that they're all good. But I think right now I have, oh, let me know if y'all want I'll probably end up doing a collection tour or a houseplant tour, anyways. But I have maybe like 40 plants right now. Like, I have a good amount, but I haven't overwhelmed myself with my plants. I have gotten easy care plants that I can take care of, that I feel comfortable with, that they make me happy, and I can enjoy seeing them grow. And isn't that the whole point, is getting plants that bring you joy, make you happy, so you can enjoy them, right? So when I'm ready to get into maybe getting a more rare plant, I'll get there. Right now, at a year of being a plant parent, I'm not there yet. I just got a begonia, and we're doing good. We're doing good, and I definitely recommend, don't be afraid of begonias. I know people are like, oh, begonias, they need so much humidity and this and that. I have a Rex begonia. I have 2 Rex begonias, and they're doing pretty well. They're showing a lot of growth. You know what? Let me just go bring them to you because they're so cute. So this is the one that I know. This is the one that I know needs a bit more humidity because, as you can see those crispy tips. Therefore, meaning it needs more humidity. I have it near a humidifier. I don't turn it on every day because I forget. my bad. This needs a little bit more attention, but I know what it needs, you know? Like, I know what it needs now. I'm aware of what I'm doing wrong at this point. If that was like 2 months, 3 months, if I was like half a year in being a plant parent, I'd be like, my begonia's dying, what's going on? No, it's cool. I know what it needs, it's fine. This one is my favorite. And this begonia was only, again, I started with a cheap plant, so I know what I'm getting myself into, so I know how to take care of it first. And this plant was like $4 at Walmart. And so was the other one, like $4 at Lowe's, right? But I started with cheap plants so I know how to take care of it. And this one's awesome. Like, there's so many like new growth points. There's like little babies over here like growing, so like she's doing good. I've had to cut some leaves off because your plants will need to acclimate to your home. So when you bring a plant in, usually it's in its best condition, coming from the nursery or wherever you got it. They're not usually always the best conditions at Walmart, but you know, whatever. But you know, it's still a change of environment for that plant. Just like you have to get used to your surroundings when you move somewhere, so does the plant. So, oh, life lessons. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so don't freak out. But yeah, don't freak out if your plants are like losing leaves when you're first getting into the home. When you're first getting into the home, it's probably just acclimating. So yeah, again, start small, work your way up. You have your whole life to collect. Don't just buy everything right away because you saw it on Instagram, because you saw someone on TikTok, and you think you have to have it. Now, if you have to have it, I'm a person, go get it. You have to have it, have it. That's what your heart desires, go for it. But if you really don't have to have it, you don't know much about it, just take it slow and get a cheap plant, learn how to take care of that one, and be like, okay, I can level up now. It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of like a game. You're leveling up when it comes to plants. You get better. And I'm to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm ready for something that needs a little bit more care. I want to go ahead and get a begonia. This begonia has been a lot easier than the other one, but again, I'm not giving the other one enough humidity, and I'm gonna adjust that, and we'll go from there. But that's it, guys. That's all I have. I pretty much covered everything that I've learned in an entire year of being a plant parent. If you have any questions, any follow-up questions, let me know. If not, no worries. Leave a comment below if you want to see more videos about stuff like this, more information. I have a lot more knowledge in this brain about plants that I'd love to share with you guys. So yeah, let me know. Anywho, like I said, that's it for this video. I appreciate your time. If you stuck to the end, thank you. You are it. I love you. And if not, that's okay. We'll see you next time. Anyways, have a great day. Thank you again for watching to the end. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so the next time you can see some creativity / planty content. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.